All right, you guys, podcast time. We got the equipment and the perfect business plan. Give our show away for free and tell no one how to find it. Ready?
Welcome to another episode of the Brand X Podcast. This episode is our 1-year anniversary. Last year, May 4th, may the 4th be with you, we posted our very first episode. It was only supposed to be a test show. Deuce and I were just going to test the equipment, and we were getting on and talking. And to be honest with you, I went in afterwards, and it was so good, I was like, I'm putting this out as episode 1. The title was Bert and Ernie Get the HIV, Genghis and John Stories. And that episode, to date, has 428 downloads. So we've missed a few weeks, here and there, mostly because of me.
And I got the ammonia.
You got the ammonia 1 week. That's true. So I went in today and I did our top 5 downloads. All right, so I'll go backwards from 5 to 1. Coming in at number 5, Guerrilla Lives Matter, Meth, Loans, and Fax Machines, and Smartphone Cancer. And that's when we had the Dr.
Dr. No Nuts.
Dr. No Nuts came in and was talking to us.
Dr. No Nuts.
And then number 4 video, the most downloaded video podcast, big dummy, is Bullying, Mr. Softy, and Quitting a Job. And then 3 is Brand X crowns a hot babe champion. The second one is Embracing Our Manliness at the Heart Attack Grill. Mm-hmm. And our number 1.
Can I guess on that one?
Go ahead.
Is that the horsecock?
No.
Really?
No. Number 1, and by a lot, is Father's Day, Genghis and John Tribute.
Oh, okay.
So that was the number 1 most downloaded show. And again, I really do enjoy this. I have a lot of fun talking with you guys. Last week, there was basically 2 weeks where we did 2 shows, and I was having a hard time getting them together. One of the things we did was the last show that we recorded was the raw audio was 2 hours and 26 minutes long.
Right.
And in the middle of it, I guess I forget we're really recording. And me and you got into an argument over politics. What else do we argue about? And I was talking to my mother, and my mother had a friend come over, and she goes, I was watching the show. Everybody watches on Facebook. Everybody watches on Facebook. So normally we put 20 minutes on Facebook, and then we try to go off Facebook and hope that they'll come over and subscribe. Mm-hmm. But I think for this episode, I think we should just let it roll. I think we should just let this one roll all the way through, and then next week we can go back to the doing 20 minutes and then have them come over and try listening.
Right.
But even if but
will we be able to not do 2.5 hours?
Yeah, right.
I hope so, because it's tough. It's tough to get through all that. Yeah, and again, I'm as much at fault as anybody else. Does it seem like 1 year? It really doesn't seem like 1 year to me.
Sometimes it does, and other times it doesn't.
Well, shit.
It's just we'll say, what are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? And we have nothing. And for some reason, at the last second, everything just comes together. But that week before, when there's nothing there's nothing going on in the news. It's so dead. What the hell are we going to do?
Yeah, there's nothing going on in our lives. I'm not going to lie. I got up. I got up this morning. I came in. I had some work to do. I'm doing some work, and I said, "How many stories do we have for tonight?" I look over, crickets, nothing, not one show. I'm like, these motherfuckers. So
dude, I've been busier than a one-legged cat in a litter box.
We're all busy. I understand. Joe started a new job. We're all busy. So I understand that. So I'm like, okay. So what I try to do is the 3 of us have a private Brand X Facebook group where we throw stuff in, ideas. We talk about the show because that's about as
connected as we can all get.
With Joe, because he's the weak link in the chain right here. Because he's not on Slack, and he doesn't.
I'm not on it.
Right, he's not on it. He doesn't have the Twitter.
I'm not on it.
He doesn't have the Instagram.
I'm not on it.
Well,
I'm not really a social media guy other than Facebook.
Well, is there an issue with your cable provider or your internet provider? It's slower than what we do.
I got DSL. I don't.
He could pay for cable like a big boy.
No.
Oh, he's a big boy now.
No. You're a real big boy now. Huh? No, I refuse to give more money to Comcast. And
I hear you.
I don't like them either, but I do. Yeah. I do.
Well, Fios is not yet available in my neighborhood.
Fios is amazing.
I want Fios.
Yeah, I had cable. And I don't know if I talked about this on the last episode or not. I might have. What happened was I couldn't take it anymore because it had 200, it could download 200 megabytes per second, but only upload 12. So I'm like, well, that's like having a Ferrari and going to Philadelphia in a Ferrari and coming back on a horse.
Yeah.
So it was really, really tough. So I call and I said to Verizon, hey, listen, I just want your internet. Can I just get your internet? And they give me a price. The problem, the reason I left them was it was $250 after 2 years if they just raised it to $250. I'm like, $250? You're out of your cotton picking mind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I live by myself. I don't have a double income. And I'm sorry.
How many people are living here?
Yeah.
Really? You're going to tell me that? I want a fixed income. Anyhow.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you that.
So,
because I like to enjoy other things too.
Okay. You're right. You're right. If it wasn't for the internet and everything, what would I be doing over here? You know, I'm basically this. This is my dungeon.
Eating Oreos.
Yeah, eating Oreos and watching infomercials. So I called them up and I got them. So now I got them. They gave me a price of $60. I called Comcast. They gave me a price for $60 for the cable. So now for 2 years, instead of $250, it's $120. It was $170. Mm-hmm. So I actually got $50 knocked off of the price that I was paying. I got the best internet, the faster internet, and I like the cable. So there you go.
So you're all set.
I'm all set. Mm-hmm. There we go. Which we'll go into right now. What's Deuce drinking?
What is that?
This is Trogs, the Jovial. It's a triple ale.
Okay.
Trogs is a craft brewer.
Yeah, I know.
Aren't you going to present it to the camera so that,
I thought I would pour the beer.
He's pouring the beer out.
Because I'm very thirsty.
Right. This is the second glass.
Right. Well,
I'm just saying.
I usually bring 2.
Right. I almost brought the Jack Daniels down tonight.
Oh, yeah?
I almost did.
Where is it? I'll go get it.
It's on top of the refrigerator.
Pussy.
I'll go get it.
You want it? I'll go get it.
All right, listen. On the refrigerator, you go get it. On the sink is little cups.
Uh-huh.
I'll have to do a shot for an anniversary.
All right.
You up for that? Can you do a shot?
I can do a shot. Yeah.
All right, go get a shot. Go get the right on top of the
the endorsement
on top of the refrigerator. I'll hold the fort down, Deuce, while you go get it.
Actually, one night, if we ever get a night where we're all off the next day, I suggest I'll bring my captain. I'll bring the Bacardi 151 and some iced tea.
We don't have to. We don't have to record on a Monday, Tuesday. We could record Thursday, Friday, if that works. For you guys. If you want to do that,
and just get drunk and really let it fly.
It might get a little crazy here. Yes, I'm not sure if I want that to happen.
Just stay off of politics, for Christ's sake.
It's so hard. Yeah, on top of the refrigerator. Isn't it on top of the refrigerator?
Door won't open.
You're telling me that door that goes into the house, that goes upstairs, that's not opening. All right, come on back down again.
You're locked out.
God doesn't want us to drink that Jack Daniels. I got to tell you a story.
Why is the door not open?
Yeah, it's locked from the other side. Come on downstairs and I'll tell you what happened.
You locked yourself out of your kitchen.
I did it. Come on downstairs and I'll tell you a story. Come on, sit down. We're not going to do the Jack Daniels now. I went outside. I went and got shots in my knees. I came in the downstairs door.
Can you get back in your...
I never went back upstairs. When you guys leave and I got to go.
That's what I mean. Will you be able to get back in?
Yeah, I'll go outside, I'll go outside, up the steps and go in the other door.
Oh, shit. Now I was looking forward to the Jack Daniels and you're...
For Christmas sake.
I'll tell you what. I'll run up, okay?
Here, this is the key to get you in the back door. The same key opens the top lock and the bottom lock. If they're both locked, I only think the bottom lock's locked.
All right.
If they're...
Watch me fuck this up.
all this for a shot of Jack Daniels.
Well, it'd be worth it.
Okay.
Don't fall.
Remember, there's cups on the sink. Plastic cups.
Zinc, if you're Irish.
Now I don't know what to do. Nobody's watching on the Facebook right now. They'll watch it later, though. That's the problem. So I don't want to hold things up. As Joe goes upstairs to get Jack Daniels, because for our 1 year shot, because the guy who was running the show didn't produce it well enough to come down here and actually figure out that we would drink a shot on our 1 year anniversary. How much?
Well, I, for one, am pleased that you're going to drink. Why should I be the only alcoholic on the show?
Are you allowed to drink when you're on steroids? I don't know. We'll find out. Wow, John, you're swelling up like a tick.
Gee, that's a good question.
Somebody give him a trach. He's opening up that door. Hey, listen, open up the door. There we go. He's going to come down the regular door. Oh, somebody's watching. Eddie's watching.
Hey, Eddie.
Now, when he just started watching, I got the number 2. All right, on top of the refrigerator should be the Jack Daniels. All right, on top of it, where the sink is, are the plastic cups, little tiny white plastic cups, almost like shot cups. It almost looks like I thought about this and then forgot about it, which probably did happen. What do you think about actually having people come in here and watching us while we record? I've had requests.
Well, I'm up for that, but I mean, do they really want to watch us fumble fuck around the first 5 minutes? Just
turn your fucking light switches up there, and then turn on the kitchen light.
Hey, listen, go talk to my landlord, Big T. Big T.
I'm looking all over for you. There's not this one, click, not this one, click, not this one. It's like, how many of these fucking switches do I have to go through before I get some light up?
That's way more than a shot, but okay.
Is this enough? Is that too much?
That looks fine for me.
Yeah, I ain't a pussy.
Yeah, a little more.
Well, which one do you want?
No, I'm just
it's
saying.
Okay.
I'm the one with the alcohol issues. You guys can go to town.
All right, there we go. Little nectar of the gods. Here you go. Pass this over to Deuce.
Here to bitch you.
This is for Joe. Give this to Joe.
All righty.
All right, guys. Here we go. For 1 year of the Brand X podcast, let's all try not to kill each other this year.
Sure.
Salute.
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 Tally ho.
Smooth.
Smooth.
All right, congratulations. And I'll tell you what, it's been trying to do this for how many years now?
What's that?
Have a podcast with the 3 of us together. You know we're going to finish this bottle before the end of this podcast.
What, do you speak French? What's this week? Yeah, the guy that has home field advantage. We're going to finish this. We have to drive home.
That's true. I can't have you do that. All right, let's get back to the show.
Hush Your Face is coming straight to your ears. A podcast network that's changing gears with the Brand X Pod and Nerd Wells. The Horribly Awkward Pod. Horribly Gamers as well. The Tavern Pod. Joyous Comedy. A 6-pod network family. www.hushyourface. www.hushyourface. www.hushyourface.com.
So I was on the Twitter, and I got a tweet, and it's from, I don't even know how to say this name, Consuelo Cardenas. And she sent us a reply, and it says, Brand X Podcast, hello. We invite you to this particular adult porn webcam free of charge.
Ooh,
register, click on my profile. And I thought about it. I really thought about it.
Couldn't that be like a phishing kind of a thing?
I'm sure it would be. It could be. But so I just decided to reply. So my reply was, thanks for the offer, but we would just watch you, then make fun of you and your site on the next episode. Cheers. And I haven't heard anything back from them.
Right.
So, but it's, hey, listen, at least somebody's thinking about us. No.
That's probably a robot. You know, there's drones. No, the robo drones.
Here, I thought they saw us and thought we were like,
oh, they want hot, hip, and happening guys.
Hot, hip, and happening guys.
Let's sign up for these.
Look at these old geezers. They need some porn.
Yeah, I figure it's probably like a computer robot. It just trolls through all Twitter accounts, Facebook accounts, or whatever. Because you always get like a lot of Facebook requests for that kind of crap. It's like the same deal.
All right, so let me tell you about last night. So I'm sitting down here. It's just about midnight. And
the witching hour.
Exactly. Sitting down here. I'm editing. All of a sudden, it sounds like, no lie, someone kicks that upstairs back door in. And I'm like, what was that? And, of course, everything goes silent. I shut everything off. I'm not even breathing. I'm listening. And I hear it sounds like someone's trying to get the door open. So I'm sitting down here, and I'm thinking to myself, well, this is nice. What am I going to do? I'm down here by myself. Nobody's here. I got a bad back, a bad knee. I'm walking with a cane. I got a walker and a cane. I'm going to take this guy on like a lion tamer. You know, exactly. Like, even if I, like back in the day, even if I grabbed this guy for a tussle, I mean, like right now, I'm useless. I can't. The most that could happen is that the guy came down here, I could stomp on his toe real hard. I mean, that's really basically the only way I could defend myself here.
You ragdoll him?
Well, I'm sitting here, so now I'm quiet. I'm like listening, and I don't hear anything. And I'm like, it was probably something that hit the house or,
Well, it was windy.
Yeah, it was windy. It was
something
really windy.
In the audio, maybe you heard
something
that.
or whatever. I'm not paying attention.
You're giving yourself the benefit of the doubt.
Turn the audio back on. I start listening. I'm editing. Kapow! I'm like, son of a bitch. Now, there is somebody in here. So I'm like, Do I go upstairs? Do I hobble my crippled ass upstairs? Okay. And try to take this guy on, or, I don't know who's in there. I mean, the only thing I had was that mop handle over there without the mop head on it. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I could probably get 1 or 2 whacks off on this guy. But really, do I really want to be beat to death by a robber in my own house? Do I really want to do this? I don't have any guns in this house, which was my first problem, which is I'm rectifying this weekend, just so you know.
Got to get guns.
I'll help.
Well, I have shotguns. I don't want a pistol.
No, but I'll help.
I know. I have shotguns. I have 2 of them.
That's all you need.
So I got 2 pump shotguns. I'll just take some number 4 high brass. Okay, I don't want buckshot, but number 4 high brass.
That's a mess.
Yeah, buckshot wouldn't leave a mess. I don't want that 50 caliber hand cannon you have, because the only way you use that is if there's a robber in your neighbor's house behind the refrigerator. You can get him with that.
What about an AR-15?
Yeah, I don't need an AR. I don't want anything I got to aim.
Yeah. Because a shotgun, one.
You just want to be in a general area.
I don't practice enough. See, to be a responsible gun owner, you have to practice and be proficient with your gun. I want something. I'm just sitting here, and then all of a sudden, if someone comes in, hey, I'm down here, guys. There you go. And I got 4 shots. So I figured if I put 1 gun down here and 1 up in my bedroom, it's basically I'll be covered. My 2 shotguns will shoot 3-inch shells. Mm-hmm. So they'll hold 4 in the undercarriage, whatever that's called.
Mm-hmm. The underlug.
Underlug. And then 1 in the chamber. So if I just push 4 in, and then if anything happens.
Now, is there a dowel rod in there?
There won't be when I get done with it.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you take the dowel rod out, you're probably going to have 6 plus 1.
4. You can get 2 3-inch ones in. In New Jersey, you have to have the dowel rod because you're only allowed to have 3 shots in your shotgun.
Yeah, that's if you're hunting duck.
Exactly.
I'm hunting burglars.
Right, exactly. So if I take the dowel rod out, I can get 4 in the bottom, and then just so if once a guy's sitting here, and then I'm ready. Mm-hmm. Okay. So
usually that's all they have to hear.
Right. That's all. Yeah. If you break in a house and you hear, don't you think your asshole's going to pucker up?
But suppose he has an AR-15.
Nobody's breaking in here with an AR-15. I know you always want to go to that 1/1/2 of 1%. And think that some guy's going to.
Well, I'll just say if you read the New York Times and the San Francisco Chronicle or whatever, everybody has an AR-15, and they're all like.
If you have an AR-15, you're a responsible gun owner, and you're not breaking in anybody's house. Mm-hmm. If you're breaking into somebody's house, you're a heroin addict or a crack addict or something like that. And if you had an AR-15, you would just go sell it and buy some rock. Okay, right. So you're not going to have that. You're going to break in. You're going to have a hammer or a knife or something like that. So once you hear, you're going to skedaddle.
Make that noise again. Here's how I would do it. Here I come, motherfucker! That'll send them off.
Exactly. Well, since John was down here by himself, in my mind, I'm going, what am I going to do? I got the cell phone with me. I type in 911, and I'm sitting there, I'm listening. I'm like, there's a 99.9% chance this is nothing. And you're going to press this button.
But do I want to be... Right. 1/10 of 1%.
I'm going to, yeah, and I know
1/10 of 1% wrong.
They're going to show up, and I'm going to look like a douchebag. But there's like a 0.5% chance that somebody's upstairs, and I'm listening, and it sounds like somebody's upstairs.
Right.
So I press the button, and they call, and they go, 911, what's your emergency? I go, I'm down in my basement, and it sounds like someone kicked the back door in, and I can't get upstairs, and I'm unarmed, and the police station's right across the street.
Uh-huh.
I said, can you call Westover Police Station and see if they just come and do a ride around and see if there's any broken windows or the back doors kicked in? So they go, yeah, hold on, stay on the line. So I stay on the line. I hear them talking to Westover Police. And they give them the address. All of a sudden, within 5 seconds, I hear voices outside. And I hear them, the cop, and he says, they're walking around the house. They don't see anything. So I go, okay, I'm going to go up and open the door. Please tell them that I'm going to go up and open the bottom door, okay, and don't shoot me. So he's like, yeah, okay. So I open up the door nice and slow. I open it. I start to open up the door, and I put my both hands on the door. So they see I have both hands on the door.
Uh-huh.
And I open the door up, and I wave both hands out. I'm like, 7 flashlights are pointing in at me.
And they're incredibly bright, those flashlights, too.
Right. So I said,
Tactical flashlights are awesome.
Yeah. So I open up the door, and the guy goes, what's going on? And I said, did you see anything around outside the house? He goes, your storm door is flapping in the wind. I go, you got to be kidding me. He goes, no. So I go upstairs, and the wind had blown so hard that it actually bent the latch, and opened it. Right. So what it was doing is it was slamming, and it sounded like someone was kicking the door in. So now they come in and go, let's just check the house. I'm like, okay. So they come walking in and they check the house. And one of the guys, I went to school with his aunt, and I know him. I played poker with him. So he's there, right? So he's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, oh, I feel like a pussy right now, but I'm okay.
You are a douchebag, douchebag.
Right, exactly. Like, what am I? It's like, okay.
You are a cunt.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I felt like. So they came, they walked around, they try to make you feel bad. It's like, hey, dude, that's what we're here for. We're right across the street. If you got problems, just give us a call. It's no big deal. Meanwhile, they get out of there and they go, did you see that big asshole? He calls us because there's storm door. But I didn't know what else to do. And exactly what you said, I'm going to get something in here to protect myself. Mm-hmm. Why am I sitting here without any kind of way of protecting myself?
Luck favors the prepared.
Exactly. So, of course, that's going. Now, I look outside. There's like 7 cop cars surrounding my house with the lights on the house and everything. Mm-hmm. My uncle sees it, Big T. He's calling me. He can't hear. He's calling me on the phone. He's like, what's going on up there? You okay? I'm like, yeah, everything's fine. What? Yeah, everything's fine. So that was my night. So this morning I had to go get 2 cortisone shots in my knees. That's always fun. So I go.
Where do they do that? In the front of your knee, the back,
the side,
the side.
They sit there and they poke around and they find a spot.
Poke around.
Yeah, they poke,
pretty much.
They poke around until they find a spot where the needle can go through. There's no kneecap or whatever. Mm-hmm. They poke around. She's done it to me like 4 times now. I get the same girl that does it. The same doctor that does it to me. Nicest girl in the world. I mean, she's a 6-footer. She's tall. She's very attractive.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Very attractive woman. She's married. She has a child and all that.
You really don't need these shots. You just go there.
No. Because to be honest with you, this time it wasn't bad. Last time, I waited too long to go back.
Right.
So my knees were already sore. When she pushed that needle through my left knee, I thought I was going to pass out. Like, I got real lightheaded. My mouth started watering.
How big is this needle? Is it like pretty?
It's about, I don't know, what's that, 3.5 inches long?
That's pretty substantial.
Yeah,
I had one in my shoulder.
When it goes through, you feel like a pop. Mm. And then they're pushing, and then she's pushing that cortisone in. You don't want to do this.
You don't want to be a pussy.
Yeah. Because, you want to have some resemblance of manhood. So when she does this, you don't want to go. So I got that done today. And then I came back, and when I came in, I went downstairs. So that's why when you went to go get the Jack Daniels, the door upstairs was locked.
I was like, is this? I just figured it was stuck, well.
Deuce breaks the door down.
I was like, before I really pushed hard on this door because it's just stuck, let me ask John if this is locked.
And then I thought to myself, I probably did lock it. So then I locked that door. I locked my bedroom door.
I know you had mentioned you don't want a handgun. But there is a handgun that you might be in.
Oh, yeah.
You might want to get Taurus makes a version. It's called the Judge, but Smith & Wesson makes a similar gun. It's called the Governor, and that'll shoot a .45 long Colt, but it'll also fit a .410 shotgun shell.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah.
And it'll also, that one comes with moon clips, so you can have .45 ACP. So that'll shoot 3 different types of ammunition.
But can I shoot, is it semi-automatic?
It's a revolver.
Oh, it's a revolver.
Yeah, and you can put 410 shotgun shells.
So I could put 6 410 shotgun shells in there?
Or 5, I think 5. It may hold 6, but you can load it up with at least 5 410 shotgun shells.
You might have to show me some information on that. Yeah. I like that idea because you can get 410 shot 2 or 4 in 410 shells, 3-inch.
Right.
That'll stop them.
And what's nice about that is because then you can walk around your entire house without having to lug a shotgun over your shoulder. All you need is a holster and a belt, and you're ready to go.
Right.
So that might be something you might be interested in.
I can stick it in my sweatpants and shoot
blow your balls off. Yeah, that's always good.
Like
a Plaxico Burress. What an asshole. Yeah, his name immediately pops in everybody's mind when you do something like that.
Oh, my God, I got to go to the bathroom. Fuck. That hurt.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
No.
That is scary though when you're like because I swear when you're scared like that and that adrenaline's running, your mind just plays so many tricks on you. You become like bionic hearing enabled. You hear everything. You hear a spider racing across the floor. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, you're not even breathing. You're sitting here and you're not even breathing. You're not.
See, I get crazy aggressive. I immediately want to. I start grabbing, get a weapon. I start going out.
Yeah, again, I was never.
I can't sit still for something like that.
This is the first time where I thought to myself, All right, I'm going to go charging upstairs. Hold on, where's my cane? All right, let me stand up and stretch. Oh, my knees, my back.
You could also get yourself a sword cane.
I don't want to get that close. Like,
but
wait, no. See, what happens is I want to sit here like this.
Well, then you want to spear.
And I'm looking up at the steps. And when I see somebody come around the steps, I just want to one time.
No, but what I'm saying is, you don't want to get that close, but you're walking around with a cane. Might as well have a sword cane.
That is true.
I've got 3 of them.
Really?
Oh yeah, I'm all loaded up. I got them. Joe will tell you he's seen my gun safe.
I might have to try a sword cane now. I'm glad we had this conversation.
Well, I'm here to help.
But I mean,
I planned for the zombie apocalypse, so I'm ready to go.
I remember when we were at the house when I was married, and we were at the house in Mullica Hill. I'm sound asleep, and my wife wakes me up. She goes, "Somebody's downstairs." And I jump up, and I grab the aluminum baseball bat, and I go running down the steps. I'm not even thinking. Yeah, because, I figure, at the time, I could defend myself. Right now, I can't.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just that realization of that right now, it's a little bit jarring for me.
Right.
You know how I was.
Yeah.
I never had a problem with, if somebody would
handle yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so when I had the gout, it was the same deal.
Yeah, you can't do what you do.
Yeah, I could barely get out of bed.
Exactly.
I could barely walk.
So where do you get a cane sword?
Oh, I got 2, and I buy them from a catalog.
Okay.
You're not allowed to ship them to Maryland, Massachusetts, or California.
I don't live in Maryland, Massachusetts.
Right, so you're good to go.
There we go.
Yeah, I got 3 of them. I got a Tai Chi one. I got one because I figure if the day comes that I'm infirm and I need a cane, I'm getting a sword cane.
My luck, I'll fall down the steps with the fucking thing and cut my dick off.
Nah, you can't do that.
What are you going to run yourself through?
Yeah, exactly.
Nah, you got to pull the cane itself as a sheath, and then you go. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right.
They're pretty awesome. You want me to order you one?
Let's just think.
You want me to bring one over to the next podcast?
Yes.
And you can check it out.
Yes, that's what I want you to do. Bring one over so I can take a look at it.
Okay. Yeah, they're pretty awesome.
Okay. All right. And I also definitely want to look at that revolver too.
Yeah, it's a Smith & Wesson Governor.
Okay.
It'll hold 3 different types of ammunition, but you can load it all up with just 410 shotgun shells.
All right.
By the way, statistically speaking, a baseball bat isn't a very effective weapon.
It is when I have a hold of it. It is.
Well, it's usually a one-shot deal.
If they get it off you, you're fucked.
Well, not only that, but you got to make sure you hit them with the very end of it. If you hit them with the broad side of it, it's neither going to hurt them nor it might knock them back a little bit. But usually, the time it takes you to get one good swing in, when you're on the when you follow through on the swing, that's when they're on you.
No, you don't follow. You don't use a baseball bat.
First off, you get an aluminum baseball.
You use
bat.
aluminum
Nice
one,
and lightweight.
Right. Yeah.
You poke forward with it. You don't swing like you're swinging at a baseball.
Well, that's what people do.
And then once they go down,
you jab, right?
Yeah. Then
also, if you get if you're going to use a baseball bat, and if you're going to use a wooden bat, I would suggest the Negan effect.
I know. I would get an aluminum bat.
Yeah, where you wrap it up in barbed wire, or you put some,
Yeah, because that's not premeditated, and the police will drag your ass to the hokey.
I don't care. I'd rather be caught by the police with it than by some fucking guy without it.
Well, that's the old gunslinger's credo. I would rather be judged by 12 men than carried by 6.
Which is true. Back in the day, I was in the Slip Slide Horizon Glide, my car, and I was going out on a date. I was going over to pick somebody up, and I can't remember who it was at the time. It had to be Sandy. Anyhow, so I'm dressed up. We're getting ready to go out somewhere.
That was a nuclear-powered car, right?
Yes. All right. So I'm driving, and I got a guy that's messing around with me. Like he's blowing his horn, or he's trying to pass me. Oh, I know what it was. I'm driving, and the guy tries to pass me. So, of course, I floor it. Right. So now I got him on the outside. He can't get in front of me because the slip slide's just fast enough to keep him out there. And cars are coming, and he's still trying. All of a sudden, he had to hit the brakes. Smoke pours off the tires. And he goes backwards and cuts in, and the car goes by. All right, so I'm laughing my ass off. I think it's funny. He's blowing his horn.
He almost dies. Yeah. You think it's funny.
He's flashing his lights. He's blowing his horn. You jerk off. He's shooting his finger out the window. So I'm like, okay. So I'm not paying attention. I'm laughing. We pull up to a red light. I'm like, this isn't good. So I look in the side view mirror, and of course, the guy gets out of the car. I'm like, cuck. So I throw the car in park. I get out of the car. I'm like, what? I'm dressed up. I don't want to get in a fight because I don't want to get all dirty. So I look in the back, and we had played softball. My aluminum softball bat's in the back. So I pick up the softball bat, and I go walking back, and the guy goes, oh, big guy like you need a softball bat? I go, no, I'm dressed up to go out, and I can't get dirty, so let's get this over with. The guy goes, fuck you, and turns around and runs back and gets in the fucking car. But I'm saying, back in the day, I didn't have any problems with any of that. But now, I feel a little vulnerable. We got Jerry from Bad Cop, Bad Cop. He's listening.
Hey, Jerry, what's up?
Yeah.
He asked me, bad knees from what? No, not from kneeling down at a glory hole at a truck stop. Basically, it was from the elevator business. I fell down a set of steps. Yeah, I don't know. I think I wouldn't stick a gun in my sweatpants or pants. You need a holster. They got great holsters now where you can just pull and they'll stick and you can get the gun.
I got 2 handgun permits now. I got to go buy 2 handguns with. So it's like I'm ready.
Okay.
Because like they say, if you know how many handguns you have, then you don't have enough. And someone asked me how many I had, and I had to like write them down. And I was like, now I know how many I have. Now I got to go buy more. So
speaking of fighting, Saturday morning I wake up and I'm just looking at social media, and Dave, the producer, David Miranda, Juliet's husband, on Facebook, he says,
on the Unwritable Rant.
Yes, he writes, "It's time to release the hounds." So then I immediately thought, I'm like, what's going on? Jerry and Dave from Bad Cop messing with you again? So he says, hold on, I'll send you a private Twitter message. So I go, okay. Well, apparently there's this guy that was messing with Dave. Now, Dave is one of the nicest guys. I mean, just do anything for you if you need a hand.
He's a real gentleman.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a guy, it's called, should I say
Tom and Steve?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, should I say their name? But
Tom and Jerry?
Tom and Steve's show. And the guy, Tom, was kind of giving David the business. And the thing about it was so stupid. It was over a dumb video. So Tom makes a video. He sets his camera down. He goes, I want to show you if you host your podcast. Now, this is podcast jargon, so you wouldn't know. So what happens when you guys listen to our podcast, I take a MP3 file and I upload it to a server.
Right.
Company, a hosting company, and then when you click our link, it automatically downloads to your phone or your podcatcher. That's about as basic as this. So he goes, I wouldn't use Libsyn because if you take Libsyn and if you're on Twitter and you click the link, you can't tweet afterwards. Well, the problem with that is that there's a certain link that you give on Twitter that will just give them the download and let them download. And the guy, Tom, was correct that if you click that link, you can only listen to the show. You can't listen to anything else. Now, it's a twofold problem. One is there is a way of doing that. If you subscribe to the show, okay, and it comes to your podcatcher, you can hit play on your podcatcher and tweet and Facebook and do whatever you want. It's not a big deal. So I guess Dave tried to explain to him this. Mm-hmm. And the guy got a little snippy, downright snippy, to the fact where he told Juliet to fire her producer because he don't know what he's doing.
So he clearly did not know that Dave...
Yes.
Okay. That Dave is her husband.
Exactly.
Kind of hard to fire your husband,
David,
or your wife, either or.
David, being a nice guy, he really didn't want to release the hounds, and he politely said, "Hey, listen, why don't you kind of back off this, and it's okay and all." And the guy doubles down. So he's like, "Release the hounds." So the Front Porch Podcast, and Bad Cop. But Jerry, he couldn't really get into it because he had company and he missed the whole thing because it was like shock and awe.
Right.
It was over. Because me being the nice guy that I am, I decided before I just wanted to warn this guy what was going to happen.
Yeah, you don't know who you're messing with.
Right. So I sent him a direct message in Twitter. And I said, dude, you're North Korea. We're the United Nations. You have no idea what's coming. Just apologize and stop it. He doubles down. He tweets, I'm going to ride this pony. Who hates a hater and they're hired trolls? Well, that was it.
Game on.
It was on. So, you know how like comedy ideas just kind of pop? They come from nowhere or something like that. So I'm looking at Twitter and a tweet comes by and it says, today, whatever how many years ago, Hitler committed suicide. And it's got a picture of Hitler standing there in shorts, high socks, making a pose. So I go into Twitter and I said, because Dave's amazing with Photoshop. Mm-hmm. And I said, Dave, you ought to take this guy's head and put it on, take Photoshop, put this guy's head on Hitler's body, and then we'll send it. So somebody did it. One of the other guys grabbed it real quick and did it. So I'm about ready to send this thing. And Dave, thank God, he says, hey, I think that's hate speech, and you could get thrown off of Twitter for that. And I'm like, ooh, I don't want to be Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah, right.
No one wants to be that guy.
Right. Not those other two dudes. The one guy, not only did he have the guy's face on there, he got the biggest, whitest penis and put it on his nose.
That was hilarious.
Like Snuffleupagus.
It looked bizarre.
It was like an elephant trunk hanging off this guy's. I was waiting for it to grab grass and shove it up his ass.
Shell peanuts.
The funny thing was the picture. It's like a big happy.
He was all happy about it. Yeah. Check this out.
This huge cock for a nose.
So we went after this guy pretty hard. And the one thing that I did was I got the picture, and I got his tweet that says, "I'm going to ride this pony. Who hates a hater?" And they're hired trolls. And then I got a horse throwing a guy onto the ground, and it says, "Adios, loser." So after it was a couple hours, and we were going at him pretty hard.
After a few volleys,
he says to David, he's like, "You know what? I think this is getting out of hand. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't have done this." And of course, John just can't. This is what he says. He goes, "David, this whole thing is my fault. If I could take it back, I would. This is taking a life of its own. #respect."
Yeah.
So I tweet back, of course.
All the good shit happens when I'm at work.
Exactly.
I miss everything.
So I tweet back, "What's this? The Kim Jong-un of podcasting's backing down? Could the war be over?" Meanwhile, the other guys, Ron and Slim is the one show. And then the Front Porch Podcast, they don't want to stop. Right. They want to curb stomp this guy.
They amped it up.
They not only that, the other guy, Steve, apparently he's a nice guy, and he didn't know any of this was going on. They got his picture. he got a bigger penis nose.
Yeah, poor Steve. What the fuck did I do?
I think Steve said to Tom, "Hey, listen, you. I don't know what you did to get these guys.
Better make that go away.
You better go over there and apologize right now."
Oh, man. That's epic.
Right. So, and I'm already, which really pissed me off, because I'm already loading up. I'm listening to like all his podcasts. I'm down here.
What kind of podcast does he do, out of curiosity?
He's only got 10 episodes. They only have 10 episodes. And what they did was, at first they started out, and they're just kind of doing what we do. They started a little politics, what's going on in their life. Sounds like they're libertarians. Dude, if you listen to episode 2, you would hate them. Just by the
hate's a strong word.
I'm just telling you. I know you, and you would hate them.
I hate Nazis.
They're conspiracy theorists like me.
Yeah, I'm not crazy.
Look, there goes the wrinkle nose.
I'm not really crazy about them.
So then I guess they weren't getting any downloads. So what they decided to do was they decided to bring other podcasters on and like interview them, which is a great idea for getting downloads, because let's say I go to Jerry. Oh, we did do this, but I didn't do it for this reason. Let's say we have Jerry from Bad Cop on and Dave. So they come over and they're on and we talk and everything. Well, Jerry or Dave, they say, "Hey, guy, we're over on we went to the Brand X podcast. Check out the episode." Well, all their listeners come over and download and they listen. But they don't know me or you or Joe. So they're like, "Okay, that's done." Well, okay, so we got those listeners that time. Next time we go and we get Shane and Kenny from...
now that I'm older, John.
Thank God. Yes, thank God you're here.
#Potter Family.
Thank you. And then they come over and they do the same thing. And then we get those listeners. So it's a great way of building your audience. It's a classic way of building your audience without an audience.
Well, not only that, it's a great way to discover new podcasts.
Yes. It is. But what they would do is they would come on and again, it's like a rookie podcast. So what kind of microphone do you use? Where do you host? And stuff like that. And it's like, really, dude, you really care what kind of microphone they have? I mean, to be honest with you, that's something you ask off the air or, talk about the show, what their concepts, why they did this stuff, something like that. Again, they're new and they're doing, and I don't care. You be you. Go podcast the way you want to do. Go do what you want to do. So, of course, but once you attack somebody else, you know how I am. I'm a 15-year-old boy in a crippled 55-year-old body, so for me, this is entertainment. Right. Like, this is fun.
You got nothing to do and all day to do it. So.
We're in there. And I'm telling you right now, this Slim and Rob, those two scare me. Like, I never want to piss them off. If they get mad at us for some reason or something, I'm like, "Hey, guys, I'm sorry. What did I do? I'm sorry. I'll send you a case of beer." Oh, and they're from Jersey, too. They're from, like, North Jersey or Central Jersey, somewhere around there. So they're from Jersey, and I think the Front Porch Podcast... they're from Jersey too, and I'll have links for their podcasts in the show notes. But it was just kind of funny to be there and doing it. And that guy just like kind of rolled over real quick, and then Jerry comes back. What are we doing? And we're like, "It's over, dude." He's like, "Damn it, I missed it."
Jerry was all fired up.
Jerry just went in. He just opted out of the Twitter group, and he was done. That was it.
So you get away to thinking like, "Oh boy, is this great!"
Exactly.
And it goes away.
Right. So it really wasn't the fact that those guys were.
Yeah, but they chose to pick up probably like, if you were going to like have a top 5 of the nicest guys in the podcasting community, like Dave, the producer, really?
The nicest, most connected guy. Like, he's connected. He knows so many people, and so many people go to bat for him. And the whole time, like, Juliet's in there, I love you guys. You know, I just love what you guys are doing here. So, yeah, we had some fun, and then it was over. And again, I even went back to Tom and said, hey, listen, you know, you apologize. You know, it takes a big man to apologize when he's wrong, and it's over. And if you ever need any help or you want any help or something like that, you know, I can help you with that, you know, less than par audio that you have.
Dig.
Yeah, well, listen. He, well, you know, first of all, Steve is on mic. Mm-hmm. Tom sounds like he's in the bathroom. You know, he sounds like he's too far away.
So it sounds like Bane from the last Batman movie. Like,
he's just off mic. And as soon as Steve says, listen, everything they're doing is very correctable. Very correctable. Very easy to fix.
Well, and only what you said, they're 10 episodes in. So,
10 episodes in. They're still getting their feel. They're still getting, you know, their flow going and everything like that. It's not a bad show. Trust me. I listened to 5 of them right in a row because, you know, it's like, you ever see the Bugs Bunny where the bull is sharpening his, and he's sharpening his horns?
Yeah.
Well, I'm down here sharpening my horns, right? I'm ready to go to war. And, you
are a mental case.
Absolutely. I'm a mental case. I admit that. That's my podcast. This is therapy. It's cheaper. We're going to talk about all this kind of stuff. So we had fun. When David, the producer, listens to this, I hope I'm not picking on him too bad. Like, I don't want to bury these guys. They're probably the nicest guys, but he just picked a fight with the wrong guy.
Yeah. They fucked up.
Well, see, the thing is, too, when you're podcasters, you have your on-air persona.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your real life
persona.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of people, I'm assuming a lot here, probably a lot of listeners think that we walk around all day long as we are on the podcast. We're not. We have jobs.
Yeah.
We say sir, we say thank you.
Yeah, you don't have to basically talk to the boss the way
right, exactly. You know, and that's just it. You know, there's you have the show John, and then you have podcaster John, you know, or real life John when you go to get your coffee and whatever.
Very nice, very
you know, it's a thing. It's a lot of this is persona.
I got to be honest with you. I'm probably more real behind the microphone because when I'm saying thank you and please,
it all
and everything,
comes out now, right? Exactly.
Yeah, because when I'm saying thank you and please and everything in my mind, I'm doing the show.
Well, that's it. Because in between these 4 walls with us, we get you.
Right.
You know, but when you're in the drive-thru at the Dunkin' Donuts, you're like, can I just have my coffee, please, and don't spit in it?
Please, can I have my coffee without any saliva in it?
That's just
hey, I was coming back from getting the shots in my knee, so I figured, well, I'm going to grab lunch. So I going by my favorite place, Taco Bell. Mm-hmm. So I pull in and I order. So I pull in, and we talked about this before. Where it's not only a Taco Bell, but it's a Long John Silver's. It's a fish place.
Right.
So I make my order. I pull up, and the guy, I know him. You know, he's like, "Hey, Joe." So I can't get to the window to give him my money. I'm just too far away. There's 2 cars in front of me. So I'm sitting there. We're talking, and now I've been there so long. I'm running out of chit chat. I got nothing. I'm done. I just did my routine.
Right.
I got nothing left.
Jesus.
So I'm like,
got to write new material just to go to the fucking Taco Bell.
Right. So just blew 15 minutes of material. And I'm not lying when I say 10 minutes. I'm waiting. Trucks running, all this. So I put it in park. I shut it off. I go, dude, what's going on? Now I got material. Dude, what's going on? Why is this taking so long? He goes, oh, he ordered fish and he wants the fish dropped right now, so it takes a long time. I'm like, and that jerk off's in the drive-thru? I said, get your manager out here. So he's like, well, it's almost done. I said, no, I want to talk to your manager. Because here's the problem. If no one tells this guy that there's a problem.
This will go on forever.
Exactly. So
you got to put it into it now.
So the manager comes over. He goes, sorry. He comes up, sorry. I said, no, don't sorry me. This is your fault. When you drop stuff like that, the first thing you say to that guy is, if you don't want to come in, pull around, and we'll come out and give you your order when it's ready, and let us get our stuff. I said, this is
Yeah, he's
drive
holding
through
everybody else up.
Yeah, I'm sitting. I shut my truck off. I'm out of material. I don't even know what to talk to this guy about anymore. Because I swear he's
That's
almost
pretty
done.
arrogant. Drop my fish now, and I'm going to sit right here and wait.
Yeah, I'm going to sit here and fuck everybody behind me.
Yeah, the hell with them. Hooray for me.
Exactly. Just as I got done, giving the guy the business, the manager of the business, they handed the stuff and he went through. Well, of course, everybody else, their order's sitting there waiting.
Yeah, it's all soggy food and
it wasn't that
limp
bad.
French fries.
Yeah, but
Taco Bell.
How arrogant is that you go in?
Well, that's it. It's
like I want it fresh dropped.
Yeah,
I would have took whatever the oldest piece of fish was there. I would have dropped it in that hot oil to make it for 2 seconds to get it hot, and I wrapped it up and said, "Yeah, here you go, asshole." And I'd thrown a little spin in there just for fun in the tartar sauce.
Okay, we got
you
some
and Jesse
posts.
Jackson, huh?
Well, I got a few posts. We got Mindy. She's here.
Hey, Mindy.
Dave says, you guys are the best.
Hey, Dave. Thank you.
And Cousin Eddie says that aluminum bat isn't what you want to use.
Yeah,
No?
No. We're not going into that.
We don't want to go into it, but take his word for it. It's not.
Oh, Dave's here. Dave, the producer, says, "Yeah, I told you he'd be checking up on us."
Hey, Dave, the producer. How you doing?
He says, "F that guy."
Yeah.
Well, I guess the view's back on. Let's go. Let me fire up the Adobe Illustrated.
I listened to them over the weekend, and they went on a thing about your grandmother's house. It has a certain smell.
Oh, you're talking Bad Cop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh wait,
There's Dave from
Dave
Bad Cop.
from
Okay,
Bad
yeah,
Cop,
I got those
Bad
guys
Cop, and Dave, the
confused.
producer.
Right. Dave, the producer, is the behind-the-scenes guy for the Unwritable Rant.
With
Okay.
Julia Miranda,
Right. Yeah.
who is more of an adult than John is.
Yes, it's true. What am I going to deny that? Absolutely more of the adult. But yeah, they do. They have. Sure, he had some guy in his car, and he
Old people smell.
Had old people smell.
I was laughing my ass off because
my first house had old people smell, and I couldn't get it out of there. Remember, we painted the whole house, we tore out all the rugs, and still had old people. The only way I got the old people smell out of it was
to
up
burn it down.
No,
bringing young people,
up in the attic. They had like that fiberboard. It was one of those like Cape Cods that had fiberboard and insulation.
Yeah,
and it was in the fiberboard. And when I ripped the fiberboard out and refinished that upstairs and put sheetrock in there, finally we got rid of the old people smell. But there's nothing worse. Like, I'm burning candles and I got freshener.
Right.
And
what's worse, old people smell? Men or women old people smell?
I think women are worse. I don't know.
I really haven't thought about it.
I really don't go around smelling them.
Well, because I worked due to the magic of retail, when you run a cash register and you're interfacing with them, I would have to say,
because they stroll up and they stop.
Well, see, what the thing is,
and their odor.
Well, see, with women,
right?
They're going to over perfume.
Mindy says men stink worse.
Now, see, I think when you get the perfume mixed with the old people smell, it's like a war's going on. It's like it creates napalm or something. I don't know what it is. It's like it's really weird.
Well, there's one cologne that used to be called Polo, and
I remember that
it was stunk horrible. It was terrible.
It was actually for the first 30 minutes, it was okay, but then after that, it gets that.
Yeah,
it was like old people. It
was like old people smell.
Yeah, I had to get rid of it.
Oh my God, it was horrible. Oh, I guess Mindy says old guys because she had an old guy live in her house before then. So I guess the old guy smell was still stuck in the house.
Right.
This reminds me of an elevator story. Let me take a little tangent here, right? So I'm working up in Trenton with this guy, and let's call him Tony.
Was he old?
No, he was like 55. I guess that's okay. Okay.
So Tony was the age you are now. So how old were you at the time?
I was like 28.
Okay. It's all a matter of perspective.
Well, if you would shut your mouth and let me finish the story.
Just making my point.
So anyhow, the guy was a born-again Christian. And at the time, I was living with Sandy. And I made the mistake of telling him that I was living with my girlfriend. So he would come in and sit down and we would have we were doing a modernization up in Trenton. Mm-hmm. And, he would come in and have coffee with us. Maintenance man, they got nothing to do. So they would come in and, hang out with the guys that were doing work. So he comes in and he's talking. The problem with this guy was someone must have told this guy that garlic will make you live longer. All right. This guy when he came in, it just sweated. Garlic sweated out.
Was he Italian?
Yes.
Well, that's it.
But it was, not this much garlic and not this bad. Deuce, I'm telling you, when he walked up to you, it smelled like a gas leak. Mm-hmm. That's how much garlic was coming out of this guy.
I know people like that.
It was crazy. And, he would talk to you, and he'd walk up, and he'd sit down next to you, and you'd go, Tony, how's it going? You'd lean back, and you'd talk to him. And so...
I'll bet he's still alive, though.
I don't even know. I have no idea. Well, he was a reformed he was a former alcoholic.
Oh, well, that might.
And he
well, that fits the profile.
He found the Lord, stopped drinking.
Under couch cushions?
I guess. I don't know where he was.
Behind the washer?
Maybe. So now he's trying to tell me. So now he's there, okay, and we're up in the machine room, and the big boss comes in there, like the regional boss, and Tony's in there, and I'm wiring something. So I'm over there wiring. The big boss comes in behind me. How you doing? I said, oh, good. What are you doing? I tell him what's doing. So Tony walks in, and the boss goes, I smell gas. And I go, I don't smell anything. So I know exactly what it is.
So you went nose blind.
Well, because I'm a helper, right? I'm an apprentice, so you don't really want to do it.
That's how long ago it was.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm an apprentice. So now, so the guy goes, no, I smell it strong. So Tony walks over, and Tony's over there sniffing too. He goes, wow, it's really strong now. And I'm like, oh, my God. So then I go, hey, Tony, do me a favor. I said, can you go get me downstairs? I said, I'm kind of stuck down here. Can you go downstairs and get me some whatever it was? I sent him out of it.
Give me that Freeble snap next to the Who's It.
So he goes running downstairs. So the boss is talking. He goes, it really smells strong. Maybe it's in a building somewhere. I go, I don't know. So he goes down there, and I figured Tony would be a while, and this guy would leave because he's just taking a tour. Sure enough, here comes Tony. Tony comes back, walks in, and he's sitting there talking. All of a sudden, the big boss goes, I smell it again. I smell gas. We should toll the building. And I'm like, oh, my God, we're going to evacuate the building because this guy had too much garlic last night in his pasta. For God's sake.
Boy.
Or the garlic bread.
Whatever it was. Dude, I mean, you would have to eat a truckload of garlic bread. The sweat garlic.
Some people just don't process garlic. That's what the issue is.
Okay. The same way some guys...
I know people like that.
Some guys don't process bourbon.
I know some people that they will not eat garlic because at least they're cognizant of the fact that they're going to reak.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
Well, do you ever, like, in the machine shop that I worked at, there was a lot of alcoholics. And a lot of these guys,
Something about machinists and alcoholism.
Oh, yeah. Well, the funny thing is, after a night on a bender, they come into work the next morning and they start sweating, and they have this weird, it's a yeasty, like a sweet smell.
It's coming out of their pores.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, my, and you it's just a weird smell that coming, say, oh, I can tell this guy, you're all drinking.
What's that? You want another one?
No. I'm looking at you.
Hey, Joe, don't be a pussy.
We're talking about alcohol. Well, he's got to drive, too.
Yeah.
All I have to do is stumble up 7 steps.
Well, not only that, that's like gasoline for my friggin' foot.
Well, I've had 2 beers and the Jack, so that's why I can't carry
what's that, about 2 shots? What do you think?
That's a double shot.
Okay.
It's a little more than one
Salute,
anyway.
Guys. All right, continue, Joe. I'm sorry.
Oh, well. Well, in addition to alcoholics, we also had a lot of born-agains over in the machine shop. So I spent a lot of years fighting with alcoholics and born-agains.
Yeah?
And I said, hey,
You all right there?
Right.
You're out of practice.
A little bit.
You're going to adapt the Clint Eastwood voice.
Yeah.
This Jack Daniels is very smooth.
Doc, it wasn't really Jack Daniels. It was just iced tea in a Jack Daniels bottle.
Smooth.
Got it.
You should tell the story about the meatball in the vending machine.
Oh, Ron? Oh.
Yeah, but keep it condensed.
Land the plane.
It's going to be a little tough to condense this, but I'll do my best, all right?
Okay. Let's help Joe. Let's help Joe tell a story.
This is the story of Ron and his meatball.
Okay.
Now, Ron, a little background. Ron was a Vietnam vet.
You're already going the wrong way.
Yep.
No one cares about
vet, and he's a little loopy, okay? I'm only going to say it that far.
Gotcha.
Loopy
Ron was a Vietnam vet.
Loved the vending machine, and he used to come in all hours. He'd just come in all hours of the night, and he would hit the vending machine. The vending machine had hamburgers, hot dogs, very terrible food. I mean, it was really bad.
It's like that microwavable crap.
Yeah.
It's freeze-dried microwavable.
It wasn't the best chocolate cake you've ever had.
Now, Ron was especially fond of, and I ain't kidding you, the big-ass burger. That's what it was called.
Big-ass burger.
The big-ass burger. The big-ass burger, I looked it up on the internet. It was something like 3,200 calories.
Jesus.
Okay. Oh, yeah, this thing was brutal.
That's 2 days of caloric intake.
Yeah. Now, he loved these things. Oh, yeah. This guy, and he would eat them all the time. Now, he was just pumping money in the vending machine. Now, as we all know, vending machines are well known for what?
Ripping you off.
Ripping us off.
Okay.
So he was always getting ripped off. Now, the policy was if you got ripped off by the vending machine, you write a note, give it to the cafeteria ladies, they give you the money, blah, blah, blah.
Hold on, I got to pour Deuce a shot.
I see that.
Here we go.
It's really going. Okay. He's pouring the shot.
Keep talking.
Okay, anyway, so, whenever Ron got ripped off, he would write a note and he would tape it on the vending machine, saying this machine ripped me off, slot D7 or whatever it is. Okay. So he's getting ripped off a big ass
Salute, Deuce.
Salute.
Yeah, salute. So, well, after a while, he's got notes all over every fucking vending machine. He's got one on the soda machine. He's got one on it, So people are starting to take notice of Ron's activities.
Notice of Ron's notes?
Yeah. He kept getting ripped off for the big ass burger, so he decided not to get from slot D7 anymore because it was ripping him off. I ain't kidding you. This was the note that he wrote on the door. Slot D7 owes me $6.30. So he stopped getting from D7. So he switched to the meatball sandwich.
Bring it home, buddy. Bring it home.
Okay, here's where it gets good. We come in one day.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does Ron have a note taped to the vending machine, he has a picture taped to it too. He got a meatball sandwich out of the vending machine, and normally the sandwiches have 4 little meatballs. His only had 3.
Oh, my God.
Oh, Jesus. You can't believe it. Ron went fucking nuts. He took a digital picture of the meatball sandwich, made a copy of it, taped the copy on to the vending machine, right? There it is, yeah. And on top of that, in a red Sharpie, he has, this machine has ripped me off for over $10. And then he has a picture of the sandwich with a circle indicating where the one meatball should be.
Would have been.
Well, now everybody in the company's like,
school's out.
Yeah, right? Well, the best was somebody got a meatball, put it in a plastic bag, and taped it to the fucking machine. Here you go, Ron. I found this. Ron went fucking ballistic.
Did somebody else say, "Oh, I got a meatball sandwich and I got 5 meatballs"?
He had a note saying, "I got 5 on mine." So, well, Ron went ballistic. All right, now Ron, like I said, Ron was a little loopy. He's a little strange. He went to the fucking president of the company, saying someone's harassing him. He says, "Why? What happened?" He says, Ron explained to him.
Ron has a little bit too much time.
And he said he got the meatball off the vending machine and took it to the office. And he goes, and this is what I found on the machine.
Did he get fired?
No, well, no, people learn how to.
Can you imagine, like.
Yeah, they realized they had to tolerate this guy. So the guy tried to, he had to
try to soft pedal it.
Yeah, okay, we'll look into it, Ron. We'll see who's behind this and everything like that. You believe I have to fucking deal with this guy? He came in here with a meatball in a bag saying somebody's because he didn't get enough meatballs on his sandwich.
Poor Ron.
Yeah.
So guy sacrificed a meatball just to make that happen.
Now that was a Reader's Digest version. The long version would be...
Oh, geez, don't even think about the long version.
Dude, you got to see all the pictures.
I have pictures of all this.
Joe has... You should post them on the... You should post them.
Yeah, we'll post them.
It's on my... I think it's on my Facebook
post them
page.
on the Brand X web.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, all right. Yeah. So today, we've already talked about how I went to get shots. Mm-hmm. So as I'm sitting on the table and she's getting ready to put the needle in, my phone rings. I look down, and it's a guy that I work with in the elevator business that I haven't talked to in at least a year, maybe a year and a half. Mm-hmm. I worked with him when I was out in the field, and I also he worked for me when I was a manager. Mm-hmm. And when I was a manager, he used to drive me insane because he would beat you to death with the rule book. Otis Elevator.
Process and procedures.
Exactly. Otis Elevator, the evil empire, as I call them. So anyhow, I hadn't talked to the guy for a while, so I come over here, I have to stop, and I call him. I go, hey, what's going on? He's like, what are you doing? He says, they're looking for people. You want to get back into business? I'm like, dude, my elevator days are done. I'm podcasting now, and that's basically what I want to do. So then he's talking to tell me about stories. So I said, what are you doing? So he got this cushy job. Like back in the day when Otis was really ramping up, each elevator mechanic would have like 250 elevators to take care of in a month. Mm-hmm. You can't get to them all. You just can't. Just impossible. Plus with shutdowns and everything else that's going on, you can't get to them.
Yeah, so that's a lot, man.
So now he's working at a college, and he's got like 24 elevators. And it's like he says, I'm retired, dude. I come in, I just go around, I get my stuff done by like 11:30. I eat lunch, I hang around, I read the paper and all. So, and the guy is like one of the nicest guys, would help you out. Really good guy. So then we start talking, and I said, well, what's going on with this? You start asking questions. He goes, well, they made this rule. And I'm like, so he tells me the rule. It's where they're making a rule where, you have to get this amount of work done. This was before he got the cushy job. This is why he's got the cushy job, to be quite honest with you. So they tell him that he's got to do this. And I said, oh, that rule just cost them about $30,000 a year in overtime. because he would do exactly what you would tell him.
Right.
But he would beat them to death with the rule book.
Follow to the letter.
And he would do that shit to me. Like, well, I'm the manager, and I would say, okay, we got to get this done, and all you miss maintenance visits. And he'd go, I can work Saturday. I'm like, I can't let you work Saturday. So then the manager would come to me and says, why is this? I said, he works every day. He does exactly what you tell him. I said, and he beats you to death with the rule books. Well, I want to fire him. I said, how are you going to fire him?
Yeah.
First of all, he's doing everything you're telling him to do. He just can't do. What he's not doing is what everybody else is doing, which is cooking the books. He's not doing that. He's not going to get caught. He's not going to do that. He's brutally honest, and it's what. And we would get into fights. Like I would say, "You motherfucker, you do." We would get this big, and we'd scream at each other. And then at the end of the day, he'd call me back. He'd go, "You okay?" And I go, "Yeah. I'm sorry, I got out of hand." He goes, "You know how it is," and all. And the day we were fine. I hated having him working for me, but he was a nice guy, and really, he would just do what everybody told him to. But he was one of those guys. They would use the rule book.
He was dotting the I's and crossing the T's.
And just drive me up a wall. So
driving crazy. Bananas.
Yeah.
It drives me bananas.
Exactly. So, and I said to him, because, I don't want to tell the guy's age, but, he's older than me. And I said to him, when are you going to retire? He goes, I'm not going to retire. He says, I'm retired now. He says, I come in, I do this, they pay my health insurance and all that kind of stuff. And when I was working in the business as a helper, I worked with this one guy, and he was in his 60s. He was like 65 years old. And he had worked in the business since he was 18. And in the elevator business, how it works is your pension is how many hours you would work in a year. You would get these year credits. So let's say it was 1,700 hours. If you work 1,700 hours in a year, you got credited 1 year. But if you work 2,700, you had 1,000 hours. And if you did that twice, now you have 3 years.
You could bank it.
So this guy had worked from the time he was 18. He's 65 years old. He was one of the best elevator mechanics I've ever known. Smart guy. Worked all kinds of overtime. Well, his wife one time found out how many credits he had for his credits. He has how many credits he had for his pension, and she found out that he was losing like $700 or $800 by going to work. That was it. He was done. Yeah. She put in his paperwork, and he was retired.
Pulled the plug. She
was like, "Oh, you mean I'll get $700
less because
more,
he's doing that? Yeah,
more, and you're home, and I can get you to do all the stuff around the house." And that's what he said. He says, I don't want to be home working for my wife. And he just wanted to come in. But it was one of those things. And this other guy's doing the same thing, which is kind of cool. And don't get me wrong. If you're out in the field, the elevator business is the best. It really is. It's great. I know people give unions a bad rap. I've only worked for one. And it was the elevator constructors union. Those guys take care of their own. You could hate a guy, but you would help him. Almost like podcasting, to be quite honest. If you're in management, first of all, you had to tape a frying pan to your ass, and you had to wear one of those jackets so you can't get knifed on, because every time you walked in there, they were trying to stab you in the back.
Well, it's going to depend on the prism that you look at life through. I was in the corporate world, and I had no problem. I would rather go back to that.
The corporate world? You couldn't get me back in the corporate
I never
world.
had so many problems in my life regarding, not that I have a problem, but the job that I have now, I'm in a union.
Right.
And everyone worries about what everyone else is doing.
Yeah, there's a lot of that. I'm not going to lie.
And that drives me crazy.
Drives me bananas. I was in 2 unions in only 8 weeks.
What's that?
I was in 2 unions in only 8 weeks, and they were different as night and day. When I worked briefly for Bell Atlantic, they brought us aboard as actually we were kind of like a prevention to keep everybody from getting laid off.
Mm-hmm.
So when they brought us in, I started in communication workers, but then after like a few weeks, they said, okay, you're all going to IBEW. And that was, now communication workers was actually okay.
Right.
All right. Guys worked hard. They, I was like, okay, just like, let's do it right and all that. IBEW was a completely different animal.
Right. That's their electrician.
Oh, yeah, well, they were all about, let's go behind the wah-wah, fuck off, talk for a while. And,
well, listen,
around,
a part of the union, which is the bad part of the unions, they are bum protectors.
Well, yeah.
They are certain about bum protectors.
Well, I'm not going to say that was the whole, but from where I saw it, I mean, from going from one to the other, it was a completely different thing.
Who let me drink 3 shots of Jack Daniels? How dare you? You guys should all be ashamed of yourself.
I'm just glad that I'm not the only one drinking on the podcast for once.
Should have kept that.
We've been doing this for 1 year. For 1 year, we've been doing this, and this is the first time that you've ever drank during the podcast. So I'm happy
I can't even read.
A pig in shit.
I can't even read anything. Everything's blurry.
You're just going to have to punt.
I am going to have to punt. All right. Why don't we do this? Why don't we get into nonsense in the news?
Okay.
Yale College Republicans hold barbecue next to union hunger strike.
Excellent.
I'll tell you what. My hat's off to the members of the Yale College Republicans. Okay, so the members of the Yale College Republicans, they hold a barbecue next to 8 graduate students, teachers, who were on a hunger streak. Hunger
streak.
Damn.
Wow, I would love to see that. Are they hot?
I might not be able to read this.
You want me to read it?
Well, let me try, because I've never been this inebriated on a podcast. So let me try it again. Members of Yale College Republicans held a barbecue Friday next to 8 graduate student teachers on a hunger strike over Yale University's refusal to negotiate with its newly formed union. Okay, so these guys are forming a union. All right, so while the 8 protesters sat in a tent next to the university president's home, and they haven't eaten in 3 days, the College Republicans group cooked up a meal of beef, baked beans, and corn on the cob for the local community. I mean, A1 ball busting. There you go. I love that.
There's a finger in the eye.
Hunger strike concerned the hunger strike concerned Yale's unwillingness to negotiate a contract with its graduate teachers, who voted to unionize in February. Well, see, this is the problem. If you're going to start a union like that, no one's going to say, oh, you want a union? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, sure. Bring in a union. I mean, and this is in the new millennium. Like back in the day, they would kneecap these 8 guys. Mm-hmm. Like these 8 guys would hit the shit beat out of them. But you can't do that anymore. That
would also go the other way around. They would bring in like union goons.
Goons.
It's like in like that episode of The Simpsons. Like, who is it? Union goons.
Yes.
Walking in.
Yeah, no, I know that. Trust me, when I was getting into the elevator union, that was just starting to stop. Mm-hmm. If a non-union company would come on to one of a union company jobs or something that they thought should be union, mm-hmm. Shit would go down. Like people would flatten tires and like bust windows and
puncture radiators with ice picks, so all the coolant leaks out and you can't go home.
Exactly stuff like that. Yes, or they'd be out somewhere, and then next thing you know, some guy would bump into them and beat the shit out of them, and they wouldn't know why. And here it was a union goon. Mm-hmm. So, that's what's going on. But the fact that these guys, that takes balls to bring up a barbecue. Over here, guys.
That's excellent trolling.
That is excellent trolling.
Yeah. Give them an A for effort.
And the guys that are doing the hunger strike, they're like, we're not concerned about the...
Yeah, sure you're not.
Is that steak? I smell like beans, baked beans. Really? Guys, do we really want to unionize? What are they offering?
The only way they could have made this better if they got big-ass fans to blow the barbecue smoke in their direction so they could smell.
No, I got one better. They're eating steak. They take the steak bones and they throw it over.
Yeah, if you want to lick these,
Here you go, guys.
You're good to go.
Hey, guys, do you mind taking out the trash?
But that is a great story.
Yeah.
Greenberg, who also attacked the university for siding with Donald Trump over members of their own community by taking an anti-union stance.
And Uncle Union.
You know what I like about that story?
John's like looking.
What?
It reminds me of the Steve with the peach pie. Like when he was eating the peach pie in front of Sam.
You're speaking French.
Yeah, it's with him.
Steve, my Wonder Bread driver.
Wonder Bread Steve.
Yeah, remember he was the best ball breaker in the world. Like, and he was like so facile. He would come out with a comment like, "Look at he split." Across the street from me was a guy named Sam, and he was like a plumber, half-ass plumber, I think. He loved Tastykake peach pies.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He loved.
I'm a lemon pie guy myself, but go ahead.
Well, peach pies from Tastykake are there's some cakes that Tastykake makes that are seasonal.
Right.
Peach pies are one of them.
Okay.
And at the time, they were running specials. Tastykake was running 2 pies for $1, so they were 50 cents a piece. So
really?
So one day, well, that was, but Sam wouldn't buy them unless that's the point.
Land the plane.
Sam was a cheap son of a bitch.
Bastard, yeah.
There we go.
So one day I see Sam across the street from my store, and he's like waiting for the traffic to thin out. And here comes off the Black Horse Pike, comes Steve in the Wonder Bread truck. He backs his truck in between the lines perfectly. He comes in.
Running.
Grabs 8 Tastykake peach pies, throws $4 on the counter. These are my pies, put them up there. So, okay. And I pulled the receipt out of the cash register. I wrote Steve's Pies, and I taped it up there on the shelves. So now Sam comes walking in, and Steve played the instant lottery tickets, so he's like
he's scratching away
and everything like this. So Sam, where the fuck are the peach pies at? Like, oh, there are no peach pies. Well, I just saw the Tastykake guy. He left, and then he says, "Oh, they're up there. They're Steve's peach pies." And he's like, looking. He's like, "Are you serious?" And Steve is like,
scratching his.
"That's right. They're mine." He's like, "You motherfucker." He's all pissed off. The next day, Sam's in the store already when Steve gets there because they kind of had the same schedule. So Steve says, "Boy, I'm beat. Till, pie me." So I give him a Tastykake peach pie. He's cramming this fucking pie in his face. There's like pie and peach and filling all over his face. And he's going like this. You know, this is the best peach pie I've ever had. Peach is falling on the counter.
I gotta tell you,
this is probably the best peach pie I've ever had in my life. And Sam's like glaring at him and looking at him. And it's like, boy, I wish you could experience this, Sam. And he's like eating the peach pie. So later on, Bill from Airborne Express comes in, and they're both in the same union. They were Teamsters. And he goes, "Hey, Steve, how you doing?" "All right, Bill." "You hungry, Bill?" "Yeah, I am a little hungry, Steve." "Till, pie him." So now Steve and Bill are both eating peach pies. And Sam's sitting there like looking at him like he's pieless. He has no pies.
That show, that store you had should have been a TV show.
Oh, it was like Cheers.
It's amazing. And the thing about the store, because I used to come in and talk and hang out.
Yeah, you used to hang, yeah.
You'd come in there and hang for like 4 or 5 hours, talk to you about this and that, whatever.
Bullshitting.
And somebody would come in, they would pull up. Okay, they would pull up, and they weren't even out of their car yet. You would look at the car. You're talking to me. You'd look at the car. You go back to the cigarette rack, and you would pull out exactly what they wanted, and you'd have it on the counter. And when they would walk in, you'd call them by name. "How you doing?" Blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, here you go, money, boom, and out the door they would go. You were one of the best salesperson, customer relation people I've ever seen work in a retail store like that. It was amazing. And the fact that you had these guys like Steve, the Wonder Bread guy, and the other guys that would come in and
Rockin' Robin Cole. She wound up working for me the last year.
Rockin' Robin Cole. I saw the other day. I saw her on the Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
And here was the other funny thing that I remember because I'm in there.
Worked for me.
Larry, we used to work for you.
Yeah, Larry.
Steve, the Wonder Bread guy, worked for me.
Everybody worked for you. All your friends.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
I worked for you for one night. I did the lottery.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, the lottery jackpot was.
Well, this is
tremendous.
the one thing that cracked me up about you. So anyhow, you used to have all your regulars come in. They would always do these scratch off things and all. And I never really got the scratch off thing. But again, it's the lottery, and you're selling. That's what it's your business and all.
The empire's building on,
right? So you're sitting there, and all of a sudden, the guy walks in and says, "I want to get $5 of the baseball," and you're like, "Oh, dude, the baseball just hit," and then the guy goes, "Oh, okay, give me $5 of something else," and then give him $5 of something else. Then one of your regulars come in, and you go, "Dude, the baseballs haven't hit in a long time." So if somebody came in and you didn't know,
well, it was priming the pump.
Right, somebody came in that you didn't know, and they wanted baseball, and you knew that they haven't hit in a while. Mm-hmm. You would steer them away, so your regular customers would get the tickets.
Let them win.
Yeah, let them win, which was genius. I never even thought about something like that. So then one time, I forget what I was doing. I walked in and I saw something. It was like, I think it was a poker game or something. Mm-hmm. And I went, "Can I have like, 5 of the poker game?" And the guy says, "Oh, that just hit." And I want 10 of the poker game. And the guy looked at me. He says, "I'm telling you, you just hit." And I go, "I don't believe you. I believe that you're saving them for your regulars." And the guy's like, he pulls off the hand. Of course, like regular poker, I didn't win. But, at least I think I found principle. The guy. The guy was telling me that,
right.
He didn't want me to buy
that. That was another gag that Steve, the Wonder Bread guy, and I did the same because Steve played the instant, and Steve was pretty lucky. And then, of course, saying, "Oh, you hit all the time." Well, of course, the beacon goes off at the same time with me and Steve. So then basically what we did was Steve would just he would come in and he would here you go. If Sam was in the store, he would just rub off a ticket and he would hand it to me. I just won $200. Did you really? And then I would go to the lottery machine and I would just punch in numbers and make it spit out a receipt, even though it was just nothing.
Yeah, right.
And I would
hand him $200.
And I would open up the drawer and I would give Steve $200. And Steve would count. "Oh, thanks a lot." He put it in his, "Here, give me 20 more." and Sam would he's a look. Well, then the rumor got out that Steve was always hitting all the time, so much so that his wife started questioning him about it. It's
what's all this money?
And we had to think, no, he's really not hitting the lottery as often as that. We're just breaking somebody's balls.
So you didn't even see back in the day. You didn't even need Twitter to break somebody's balls.
Nah, he did it face to face.
You did it right up to him.
Yeah, it was the best.
Okay, so let's get into our next story. Ultra chill Jimmy John's employee takes sweet time during armed robbery. He said he wasn't scared, and the robbery.
You want me to read this?
Dude, you gotta have to.
Okay.
I can't even think. I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to do the rest of this show.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, I haven't drank in how long?
You're out of practice.
And I had 5-6 shots of Jack Daniels?
Yeah, you had at least 3 double shots there. Jesus. We did finish that bottle, by the way.
Bottle's gone.
Yeah,
Bottle's gone.
That's extinguished.
Bottle's gone.
Two-Car Murray is rapidly becoming an internet legend for his cool under pressure. The 24-year-old assistant manager at a Jimmy John's restaurant in Kansas City, Missouri, is the clear star of surveillance footage from Wednesday when the place was robbed.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Have you seen the video for this
Yes,
yet?
I have.
Yeah, I've seen it.
So
Failure
you know?
to feed.
So you saw that?
Yes.
I saw it too.
The first thing I noticed.
First thing I noticed. So what happens is the guy, a big black guy, I'm not just what he is, I'm not being a racist, big black guy walks in, Jimmy John's, orders a sandwich, he pulls out a gun, he jacks a shell in, the shell jams. Mm-hmm. And I can see it. I'm like, that's jammed. And meanwhile, he's holding it to the guy's head and this and that. And he held his hand out by
inches away from this guy's head.
And then he held it towards somebody else, but he held his hand in front of this guy. And I'm thinking to myself, if that was me, as soon as he pulled that gun past me and went past me, I would have reached over, wrapped around, grabbed that arm, pulled that gun off of him. But then again, he was one big strapping black dude.
Yeah, he was a big dude.
And that other guy was very thin.
He had about 8 inches in height on this guy. And he was built.
Yeah, and
that
about
guy
100,
hits the gym.
Yes. So then I thought to myself, but no, this guy was really cool. He's like, this asshole can't shoot me. Because first of all, he pulls the trigger and nothing's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So let me just give him the money and get him the hell out of here, which is exactly what he did.
Right.
But if you look at the video, you can see when he jacked that shell that it's stuck in the chain. It's stuck in the.
That's a stovepipe.
What's that called?
A stovepipe.
Okay, so
it's failure to feed. When you rack a handgun back, for those of you that are thinking about getting a handgun, the best way to get them to feed is treat that gun like you hate it. The better they work. Pull that thing back as hard as you can, like you think you're going to break it. It'll feed flawlessly every single time. If you go in there like a limp-wristed pussy and you go, that's how you get a failure to feed. Okay?
And you got to make that sound. You got to do that too.
So that's what he did. If you look at the video for when you post it, he's really didn't have any. As big as the guy was,
he didn't pull back.
Right.
And you could see that even when he let it go, that the action didn't go all the way forward.
Right.
It was back about an
inch. You could
inch.
see the front of the barrel, the ramp's back. That gun's, there's no force on the planet that's going to make that gun operate.
Right.
Because what had happened was the extractor pulled the round out, and it's called a stovepipe. And basically the bullet is jammed like a stovepipe straight up out.
Right.
And now you're done.
They can't fire it unless you jack another one in.
Well, no. What you have to do then is you have to drop the magazine, and then you got to rack that back 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Put the magazine back in, rack it again, and get a real round in there, and now you're ready to rock and roll.
Okay, so this guy had no chance of doing that.
No.
So, and I guess the guy from Jimmy John's did the correct thing, but I'm just thinking to myself, as soon as I saw that, and that guy put his arm past me to point it at somebody else, I'm grabbing his arm, and I'm taking that gun off of him. I know I am. Mm-hmm. No, I'm talking about 20. I'm talking about 30.
You're talking about 28-year-old John.
No, I'm talking about 40-year-old John would have grabbed that guy and pulled that thing off of him.
Yeah.
And taken that thing off of him. But, the guy did the right thing. He didn't cause any kind of confrontation. The guy took the money.
He got him out of the store as easily as possible.
So he did the right thing. But, it was just amazing because I'm watching the video, and I say to myself, when he pulled that back, I'm like, that can't fire. That gun's jammed. There's no way, there was
no force on the planet that was going to fire.
Yeah, exactly. So, and here's the thing. The guy from Jimmy John's kind of doubled down. He said, yeah, well, I know the guy went to prison and, for armed robbery and stuff like that, but he kind of was like a pussy, to be quite honest with you. It looked like amateur hour to me.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'd want to say that.
He might come back in 5 years. If they catch this guy 5 years
What's this
later,
I hear? You said I'm a pussy with this.
Yeah. This time.
Well, when I was the victim of armed robbery.
You were? I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't? Never heard that story?
I did. Wait, what?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Hold on.
And my cousin Bobby, too.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about Bobby. I don't know Bobby. Let's hear your story.
My son was just born. He was a week old. It's a warm day in October. A taxi cab pulls out. A dude gets out wearing short pants and a down ski jacket.
Oops.
Now, I know this guy's clearly here to either to shoplift me. I thought shoplift. Before he even got in the store, I hit the silent alarm to the police station. I was like, I'm not even going to mess with this. So the guy came in, and he knew that I knew that he was up to something. Just like Ralph Craig did. And you know that I know. Okay. So he's hanging around the carton display of the cigarettes. And he says he wants to buy 60 cartons of Newports. Well, back in 1995, 60 cartons of Newports would have been about like $1,100. So now it'd be about $30,000. But anyway, I'm standing there watching him, and he's watching me. And finally, a customer came in, and I had to address the issue. And that fast, I'm getting ahead of the story. I'm watching him, he's watching me, and he's asking about price, and he goes like this, like, oh, man, that's my 22. And I'm like thinking, this is great. My son was just born. This guy's going to shoot me, and I'm never going to see my son grow up. So I'm trying to keep cool. And
why wouldn't you just give him whatever he wanted? Why would you just give him 60
he was
cartons
standing there. It was self-service cartons.
I'd have said, take whatever you want and go.
Yeah, at that moment, after that happened, a customer came in.
Okay.
I turned around thinking it was the police, and it wasn't the police. That fast, I heard like he pulled cartons out of the fixture, and he's walking out the door. I write the license plate number to the taxi cab. He gets in the taxi cab. As soon as the bumper is pulling out of my parking lot, here come the police. Like, this all went down like in about a minute and a half.
Right.
Kudos to the Runnymede Police Department for getting there as fast as they did.
Mm-hmm.
I said, here's the license plate number to that taxi. That guy just stole 2 cartons of cigarettes off me. He said he has a gun, and he just rolled out. And I had surveillance cameras and everything like that. They found the guy because of my surveillance cameras. Like Ricky Ricardo, I had a 5-camera shoot in my store. Okay. They found that guy.
It was a 3-camera shoot, but go ahead.
Yeah, for Ricky Ricardo, yes. I had a 5-camera shoot.
Okay, just check.
So they did catch the guy, and when I got home that night, I called up Kramer Handgun Leather, and I ordered 2 holsters, one for Mr. 45 and one for Mr. 380, so I could wear them in the store.
Yeah.
My customers never knew I was wearing a gun because the type of holster that I had, and I wore T-shirts over them. But I will never put myself in that position again.
I love that 380
shit.
I love your 380. I love that gun.
Yeah. That's a sweet gun.
It is a sweet little gun.
And for the 7 years I was in that store, from that day forward, I wore a gun every day in that store.
Yeah, absolutely. I can understand that.
And I can't believe I never told you that story.
You know something, as you're talking about, I do remember that thing. I do remember.
When he got out 5 years later, they had to notify me. And say, hey, I did get the cartons of cigarettes back because he bailed out of the taxi cab and ran away. And, I got my cigarettes back and everything. But it was scary as hell.
I can't even imagine.
I don't know whether he had a gun or not, but because he said he
had
did,
a gun,
he got 5 years.
Yeah, exactly. Which he should. God damn people.
I had a stapler save my ass.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that one. Yeah, stapler saved my ass.
So go ahead. How did the stapler save your ass?
I was working for my uncle's store in Naka. It was late at night, getting ready to close. Door swings open. And the weird thing about, and I saw this somewhere, you make eye contact, you know right away something's
that is true. That is
because
true.
when a customer walks in, he's not looking at you. He's looking at, oh, gee, what do I want here? He looks right at me. I'm like, oh, and I could feel it. He goes back behind the shelves and he's just lurking back there. And a couple times I look over him and through the shelves, I see him watching me. So I'm sitting there like with my ass to the breed. Now normally I'm like a fighting guy. I want to beat the guy up, but I don't know what he's doing, So I'm like, oh,
you don't know what he's got.
I don't know what he's got. So I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? My Uncle Bob had one of those old swing line staplers, the big ones. This thing looked like about
cast iron.
Yeah, the thing was huge. And I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I got an idea. So behind the counter, I have my arms down. I open up the stapler, and you know how like when you load it, it's like goes.
Right.
He heard that all of a sudden, because like I said, it was a larger than normal stapler. This thing made that noise, and he heard that noise exactly. That's exactly
the most wonderful sound.
It's exactly what the stapler sounded like. And
right.
you see him, and then he just kind of like wanders back out. Not a sound, not a word spoken. He just wanders right out the door and takes off. I knew he was going to do something.
Yeah, exactly.
In retail,
I said, well, you don't know. You don't have any proof. I don't need. You just. It's.
Well, I'm going to go with my powers of supposition.
I'm not going to sit
one.
there.
No, I get it.
I used to hate Halloween. After that happened, after that incident, I love Halloween. I did not love Halloween as a retail store owner because if you were going to rob a store, it's the most opportune time. People put on face paint, they wear masks, they're all in. How are you going to you wouldn't know? It's like the Watchmen,
right?
Yeah, they all dressed up as pirates and clowns. You can't identify them. You really can't.
So as a retail guy, I mean, don't you think it would behoove you to just give them what they want? Is it really worth trying to pull a gun or something like that? In a situation like that.
If somebody, that's the thing. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Okay. If somebody comes in and they've got the drop on me, I'm not going to be a hero. Here you go. Take what you want. Get out.
Right.
Somebody walks in with a knife or a crowbar, I'm going to win this one. Okay. Second of all, let's say somebody comes in with a gun and they've got the drop on me and I give them what they want. And at the time, this is what happened here in New Jersey. They were walking, you probably remember, they were walking people into the back room and then just blowing their brains out.
Right.
Yeah.
And if there's okay, now we're going into the back room, I'm going for the gun then.
Yeah. No, listen, I understand because self-preservation is the most basic of.
Did you ever hear? Did I ever tell you a story about the fire marshal? The town that I run to meet, they came in with the fire inspection, and the guy's going to look at the fire extinguishers. And the girl that was working for me at the time, and we're sitting in there, and he says,
"I did hear this story, but go ahead."
Okay. And he said, "Did all right? Have all your employees been trained on the proper usage of the fire extinguishers?" Yes, they have. And this girl's eyes got big as saucers.
She never worked a fire extinguisher.
No, not at all. And she was, and you could tell she was like a nervous wreck. She blanched. She actually she didn't know what to say. So, okay. And then he looks at the signs. They're all illuminated or whatever. And he signs off on the certificate. Okay, that's $35. Have a great day. And he walks out the door. And I said, okay, here's your fire extinguisher lesson. If you ever see anything on fire on here, you just run out of the store and let it burn to the ground because I'm not paying you enough money to fight fires. I've got insurance for that. And that's how it's going to go down.
So if you see any kind of flames.
That's right. You just get out of the store. Right. Just
not paying you to fight a fire.
I'm not paying you anywhere near enough money to be fighting fires. Just get the fuck out of the store. That's it.
This show is a dumpster fire.
But she was like, I'm so glad she went like, I'm so glad you said that because I was afraid that the fire marshal was going to start asking me questions.
Yeah, exactly. I hear you.
Yes, they are.
All right. So let's get to our last story of the night. Hot glue gun triggers 4-hour lockdown at Colgate University.
Ah, for Christ's
sake. A toothpaste factory?
University. Oh, you're fucking with me. I got
it. Yeah, that Jack
Have another drink, John.
Jesus Christ.
We had to do this more often. This is a lot more fun when John's hammered.
I am hammered. I'm not going to lie. Flat ass hammered.
Call up Don.
Everybody's probably embarrassed. They're going to break my balls now, but I am absolutely hammered. I can't even read this.
Colgate University went on lockdown and students were ordered to shelter in place for 4 hours Monday night while police investigated reports of a gunman on the upstate New York campus. But the threat turned out to be a student using a glue gun for an art project.
What jackass in their right mind would call the police over a glue gun, or campus police over a glue gun?
A liberal snowflake.
Stop it. Really?
That's exactly who would call.
Campus lockdown occurred after reports of someone has entered the O'Connor campus while carrying what the witness believed was a weapon. A glue gun.
Yeah, well, if you want to glue someone down to the railroad tracks, I guess, yeah, okay.
Well, of course, everybody. So the precautions on campus of a private liberal art college,
yeah, Deuce is fucked up. He's making shit up again. Yeah.
Well, it happened on the same day. An armed attacker with a hunting knife stabbed 4 people, killing one in an Austin, Texas campus on the University of Texas.
Yeah, but how far away is that?
It doesn't matter. It's just like It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It could be like ISIS. They could be having like these coordinated
now they
attacks.
drive trucks down sidewalks.
Listen, anytime anybody says there's a weapon on school, it's got to be all hands on deck. You got to come out. You got to get there. It's got to be, and you got to go. So here they find out that it's a large black man. Well, what the hell's the difference whether it's a black man or not?
Yeah. If they've got a weapon, who cares who it is?
Can you imagine this poor black guy? He's sitting there. He's like gluing his project together.
He's all happy. I'm going to he's probably something for his kid.
He's whistling as he's working,
He looks up and it's like...
It's on the side, he's surrounded.
Yeah, drop the glue gun.
Get rid of that glue gun.
He's got a gun. No wonder the black people hate the police. Well, listen, you gotta know that they're all amped up. And, the police the hell was that?
Oh my God. Stereo. I like that.
That's so. The horrible part about that is it's not going to be stereo when they hear that. But that went through one ear, right to the other one. Play that again.
And I'm getting this swirling beach ball of death right now. It'll come on when we least expect it. But go on, continue with your story.
So anyhow, when I had to come upstairs, I knew I had to open the door.
There it is.
So when I opened up the door, like if I just opened up the doors and went, "Hey guys," next thing you know, I get shot in my own house.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do?
Jeez, you're so loud. I can't even. My sound effects are like.
Yeah, well, I like how the Jimmy made an appearance for that one too.
Of course Jimmy always makes an appearance when there's an Apache helicopter involved. That's subliminal Jimmy right there.
Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do? It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do?
He went out of town the other day, and he calls me up.
Did he go to Lydia's?
The phone.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do?
Jimmy, what do you want? Listen, I got to go out of town right away. Okay. Don't tell anybody. Why? Where are you going? I can't tell you. It's none of your business.
Jimmy's a spook. He's in the CIA.
So he leaves, right? Of course, I hang up the phone. I don't think anything of it.
Nothing else after that. Okay, let me do what I'm doing.
So he calls back like 2 days later. I hear
it's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do?
What do you want? Did anybody miss me? Oh fuck, you were out of town. I didn't even know you were. I forgot you were out of town. No one cares. No one cares.
Well, wait a minute. Back the truck up here.
Yes.
He told you not to tell anybody.
He was going to Pittsburgh.
He was going out of town.
Right, and then when he called back.
And then he calls back. Did anybody miss me?
Right. Nobody missed them.
Makes no sense.
Nobody missed them. Nobody.
What are you supposed to say?
Exactly what I said. No one fucking cares.
Yeah. Oh, His Holiness, the Pope called up. Pope Francis called up. He was inquiring.
Oh, my God, Jimmy. Thank God you're back. The people that were called, I thought they were going to put a search party out.
Clamoring for your attention.
I was, it was one of those things where on Facebook it says, "Have you seen this person?" Pictures of the Jimmy.
He's on the milk carton.
Yeah. Lord, have you seen the Jimmy? Last seen mowing a lawn in South Jersey. He left abruptly, and we haven't seen him in a day. If any Jimmy sightings are seen, please notify. Who the fuck wants to be notified? Please notify. Call Johnny.
Tell John.
All right. So anyhow, that was the Jimmy.
The magic of the Jimmy.
All right, podcast shout-outs.
Oh, whoa.
What?
No, you're good.
Oh, I thought we're done.
Yeah, I just got to...
Better be done.
I just got to shut stuff down.
Oh, okay. Calm down over here.
Yeah, hold your horses there. Okay, podcast shout-outs 3 is comedy with Jason, Bob, and Mindy.
And they were here tonight. Thank you guys for hanging out with us for a little while we were doing our 1 year anniversary.
Come and stop, bitches.
Right.
And Mindy.
Bad Cop with Jerry and Dave, always a friend of the show. And just two good guys. And funny as fuck these two guys are. If you like this show, you'll like their show because they're funnier. And I'm going to just say it straight out. They're funnier. They're just, I don't know what it is. Although if I start drinking, maybe I'll be funnier. I don't know.
Yeah,
I get drunk all the time.
Bold and Belligerent. They haven't had a show out in 3 weeks. Lauren.
Has it been 3?
Yeah. Lauren, Josh, and Mike. And I even put on Twitter today, I said, hey, Bolden, where you guys been? And Josh was out of town and Lauren was out of town. And so they were going to put a show out this week.
Well, somebody just moved up in their the job that they have. They moved up. I forget which one.
What are you talking about?
On Bold and Belligerent.
Oh, you're talking about
somebody. No, not Luke. One of the other guys, and I forget who, but they were like at a plateau in a position.
They got promoted.
Right, maybe that's why.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
I was wondering what the hell you were talking about.
I said he moved up.
You're
hammered, man. Have some
You're
more
moving
Jack.
up like the Jeffersons moved up.
The bottle.
Yeah,
the
up to the Upper East Side.
Up to moving on up.
Tavern Podcast with Rockstar BB Byerling and King Brandon. Now, I got to, and listen, it's got to be an oversight, but with the last podcast we put out, we didn't get any love from the Hush Your Face people.
They don't put out a podcast as often as we do.
No. What I'm saying is when we put our podcast out, they usually promote it, and we didn't get promoted. I kept going back and looking. And listen, I'm sure it's an oversight.
They shared us tonight.
Yes, they did.
They always do.
They're good guys, really good guys. Love the show. I'll tell you what, that BB, he can really play a guitar. I love when he plays a guitar. I love it.
All 3 of those guys are awesome.
Horribly
Awkward with Sean Fuller. Now that I'm older with Shane and Kenny,
yes.
a.k.a.
a.k.a.
There's a million of them.
Never mind.
Here's your shovel. Keep digging.
Toe on the Trigger with Daniel and guest host of the week, and I haven't had a chance to listen to who it's.
I am so many podcasts behind with running the Empire.
You almost have to dump it.
I go back.
First of all, why are you so far behind? When you're over there painting stuff, you should have the phone with the.
Well, we're not just painting. We're running power tools. We're demoing.
You can't put a set of earbuds in and listen to a podcast. I call bullshit on the whole thing. You should be catching up on your podcasts.
Well, you were clearly wrong.
I feel I'm right.
Me and my uncle are a show upon itself because all we do is just laugh and fart and carry on, and it's a lot of fun. So.
Okay. All right, I got you.
Ice in the Face with Sarah and Rick.
I love that show. I don't even, and again, you know what?
They're from Jersey. Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. I got a little thing for Sarah. I don't know if Sarah and Rick's her thing, but I got a little thing for Sarah. Love her voice, love her personality. Got a little thing. Just saying. Story. Did I say that?
See, alcohol is like truth serum.
Goes in, truth comes out.
Yeah, alcohol is like truth serum. We're going to bring Jack Daniels to every podcast from now on. This is the most open John's been in quite a long time.
Stop it. The story behind with my friend Emily Prokop. She's had a baby. I'm following her on social media. The kid is a cute little kid. Mm-hmm. He's a cute little kid. And I want her back.
Unwritable Rant with Juliet Miranda.
And
who is far more mature than John is.
She really is. She really is. Quite honest with you. I still think she's trying to kill David, the producer, but I don't know. Every time I turn around, she's doing something to the poor guy. Netflix and Swill with Caleb and Dan.
Pull My Finger with Tony and Wazzy.
Your buddies from across the pond.
And I regretfully have to say I'm 3 podcasts behind on them. So I got to
you have to catch up, mate.
I do. I have a lot of catching up to do.
I don't understand why you can't seem to. I can't do an accent. What am I even trying for?
Drunk yet?
What are you trying to say, lad? I can't do British.
I can't do anything.
I can do
the Nerd
of Wells.
Thank you. Podcast with Eric, Sam, and Chris.
The Horrible Gamers podcast.
Yes, I saw them the other day. They were doing Facebook Live. They do Facebook Live.
Cool.
And they have a thing where they have each camera is in the Facebook Live. I don't know how they do it. It's pretty cool.
So like Ricky Ricardo, they got a 3-camera shoot going on.
They have like a 5,
the Brady Bunch? Or?
It looks like the Brady Bunch. There's like 6 of them.
Or Mr. Burns' conference, his big window.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go with that too.
Homer Simpson, sir, Sector G7.
Epic film, guys.
And everyone has a podcast with Adam and Brian.
Yes.
Byron.
And, here's the thing. I actually got a chance, peel back the curtain a little bit right now.
Yeah.
I actually got a chance yesterday to talk to David, the producer, on the phone. So, I get a message. It says, hey, call me. Okay. So I dial the phone. He picks up the phone. He goes, well, I know 2 guys in Jersey, so this has got to be John or the Mafia. And I'm like, how do you know it's not both? Could be both.
John from the Mafia.
Loosely connected.
John from the Mafia wouldn't have called the cops last night when he...
John from the Mafia.
John from the Mafia
would have had a horse head in his freezer ready to go to intimidate his enemies.
Right. When he heard the door get kicked in, he wouldn't have went and dialed 911. It would have been. So it wasn't John from the Mafia. So he gave me a call, and there's an actual opportunity for me to do some more with the Potter family. Get into with whatever they do, like part of the council.
All the magic that they do.
Yeah. So, and I'm excited about that. So, it's
good for you.
Shane from Now That I'm Older, and Emily from The Story Behind, and Dave from Dave the producer.
Yeah, right about right.
Thank you. And also Adam from Everyone Has a Podcast. So it would really be cool to be able to get in there because you know me, I have a love for podcasting. Mm-hmm. I loves it. I loves me some podcasts. And I love podcasting. Just don't fuck around with my peoples. You fuck around with my peoples, you end up with a penis on your face.
He loves his podcast as he loves his
whiskey. Okay. I forgot about the Photoshop thing. I was like, what the hell are you going to do?
I've got to tell this. You've got to tell the story.
Why not with a penis on your face?
What was the story where you used to do this thing? And you can't, it's really hard to do on the podcast because it's audio. But Deuce used to do this thing where it was like if someone was trying to smack him in the face with a dick and he would just kind of give it, it's
Oh, that was the grimace. The Ronald McDonald did the grimace.
The grimace. Yeah.
That was an act that Joe and I used to masquerade for John's amusement with, where we had Grimace and Ronald were gay, and they would lock themselves in a closet, and basically Grimace would pin Ronald down and just drape his big giant purple penis on his face.
Ronald would turn his head, and go,
No.
It's a visual.
It is a visual.
There's a long story behind all those.
And
that's how you land the fucking plane.
That's right. And I also want to thank our fans, like Superfan Dave, who always hangs out with us. Uncle who? Who's Uncle Eddie?
Uncle Mike.
Uncle Mike.
My cousin Eddie.
Cousin Eddie
and Uncle Mike.
That's right. Thank you so much for
hanging with us.
These
are the words that John's groping for.
Yeah, he's really struggling here.
Participating, sending me stuff. Like the one show didn't go out because I haven't had a chance to edit yet. And Eddie said, "Hey, what's going on? How come one's out of sequence?" I love that. I love that they know that there's a show. They're paying attention. They're looking for it.
It's appreciated, guys.
And if you're friends with my mom down in South Carolina and you're listening and you're watching Facebook Live, appreciate that. But do me a favor, download a damn episode. Can it be that hard? It's really not that hard. If you got an iPhone, or go to iTunes, or if we're on Facebook, go to the facebook.com/BrandXPodcast. And when you want to listen to it there, and we'll get a download. We'll get credit for a download. Listen, just listen. I don't care how you do it. I really don't. I don't care.
Credits.
You get credits. But just if anybody that comes and enjoys the show and thinks we're funny, I love you. Love you. I absolutely love you.
And we appreciate your support.
Yeah. I love you, man.
And we can only get better.
Yes.
Now, someone's drunk when they start with the I love you.
Baby, I love you. I tell you, you guys are the best audience I've had audiences before. You guys are the best audiences I've ever had.
Are you going to be all right tomorrow morning?
Yeah, he'll be ranting after we go.
If I'm throwing up tomorrow morning, I'm calling you every fucking motherfucking curse word I can think of.
Why?
It's not your fault. I just need somebody to blame.
You're far out of practice.
I'm like the Jimmy.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
I need someone to blame.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
I need someone to blame. There we go. All right.
Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
I need someone to blame.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy.
I need someone to blame.
That never gets old.
All right. What do you say we get out of here?
Sure. Why not? I'm easy.
No, that really worked out.
I might be drunk, but I still can work a soundboard, bitches. Here we are. We're running right up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, time is different when you're drunk, isn't it, John?
I am going to hate editing this. I'm really going to hate editing this.
This might be a lot of fun.
All right, listen. Thank you for 1 year. Thank you for finding us. Thank you for hanging with us. Please stay tuned for next year. We're going to be doing some big things.
And how far is this? When does this drop?
I really want to put this out for May 4th. I want to make this come out.
Which is in 2 days.
We better stop now. We better stop right now.
Have another drink.
I'm out of Jack Daniels.
Thank God. There's still another bottle up on your fridge.
No, don't.
That's for the next podcast.
Okay.
No, we can't be doing this anymore. I can't.
Oh, this is great. I love it.
I can't even remember the last time I drank. I can't.
Really? I think the last time I drank was last night.
Yeah, I understand you. But I can't do this, and I drank a lot of Jack. And I haven't eaten. It's not a very good combination. I'll tell you that right now.
Nobody loves
They'll
us.
come back later when we share it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Sure. That's how it happens.
All right, we're going to use the episode 38 formula on this one.
You think?
I don't know. Maybe we just throw the whole damn thing out there. What do you think? You tell me.
I have an idea. I'll talk to you about it off mic.
Okay. Will you guys shut the fuck up so I can end this show? All right, everybody. We'll talk to you later.
Everyone have a great night, a great day, great week, whatever it is you're listening to, and we appreciate it.
Whatever you're listening to. What the fuck was that?
Whenever.
Oh, whenever.
All
right. Got to make sure you're doing the right job here. All right. Good night, everybody.
Tally ho, gotta go.
Got to come up with a better line. Shut the fuck up so I can end the recording.